Today, I'll show you my very best practices for ensuring a perfect shed every time from your ball python.
Proper Royals!
Hi everybody, it's Adam at Proper Royals. Thank you for joining me today, and cheers to you wherever you are. I appreciate your time. If you enjoy these videos, if you get a knowledge, entertainment, value out of them, help me out with a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way. I get a lot of questions asked about shed. The way that your snake sheds is a really great indication of its overall health. It can be a signal or a warning sign if your husbandry is off, and generally that has to do with humidity. I'm not talking about how often your snake sheds. That has to do with growth and consumption of food. I'm talking about, do you get full, complete, nice sheds every time, or are they flaky and do you have to help the snake? When they're full, complete, and intact, it's a great indication that your humidity is on point, your snake is at its healthiest self, and it's doing well. So what I do is there's really kind of three main components, and you can do different things to account for these components however you like. So none of this is sort of mandatory, but it all works together, and it works perfectly for me. Let me show you. These are perfectly wrapped up, complete sheds. Come out in one batch. These are some of my juveniles. This is a subadult here. Again, all in one nice tidy batch. This one, same thing. So there's three right there that were just from cleanings this week. So the first thing is your enclosure that you want to look at. I recommend tubs. Humidity is very, I wouldn't say easy, but readily achievable. Proper humidity is much more readily achievable in a tub. If you use a glass enclosure, make sure you use impressed seal. Some people use aluminum foil to help with heat as well. But that air circulation in there is dragging humidity out. You're fighting humidity constantly. Secondly, I use cocoa husk. Prepare it in the 5-gallon bucket, and I keep it ready. The coconut husk helps tremendously with maintaining humidity in your enclosure. So whether you're using a tank or a tub, absolutely I recommend coconut husk. Again, there are other options. That's my absolute favorite for many reasons. The third is I was gonna say I recommend, really it's kind of mandatory. You don't have to use this model, but you need something to measure temperature and humidity. You see my snake room is at an ambient temperature of 79.4 and humidity is at 45%. That's too low for an ambient humidity. So you want to be measuring inside your tubs, and you want to keep that humidity at least at 50%. I personally aim for about 60. A little fluctuation between 50 and 60 is no problem. Likewise, a little fluctuation between 60 and 70 is no problem. Now, here's the critical part. Watch your snake. When you see the snake's eyes go gray, you're anywhere from 7 days to 4 days from a shed. If you've had your humidity on point up to this point, you're already really there. You're gonna get a slam dunk shed. If you've just bought a snake that you don't know how the husbandry is and the history is, it might take a cycle or two, okay? This is my girl Sharona. She is a blue-eyed leucistic, but she is going into shed. I don't know how well you could see those eyes, but they are grayed over. You will know, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, with the eyes going gray or in blue, sometimes they're referred to, you will. Take time with your snake. You will see them. It will be clear as day when you see it. When you get to that point, I keep a spray bottle of water in the room. So the water's already acclimated to that ambient temperature. This water is that same 79 degrees that my temperature and humidity gauge is reading. And all I do is, while their eyes are gray, every morning when I'm checking on them and cleaning, I just will spray her down. I lift up her hide. I do it right in the enclosure. Just a spray, a mist, kind of like that. Make sure that, if she's coiled up yay big, I just cover the surface area of her, drop the hide back down on top of her. They will do great. Do it once a day. When you do spray them, you'll see them coil back a little bit. I haven't found this to cause any stress. And seriously, I get perfect sheds every time. The only time when I don't is when I get a new animal arrived, or one that I'm taking from my quarantine, which is actually a tank instead of a tub. It's upstairs, and I move them down. After that first cycle is done and they've been in a tub and I've been monitoring the humidity and temperature and those are on point, I do those sprays for 3-4 days when their eyes are gray, and then they go right into a shed. If you're not familiar with the shed process and what I'm talking about, their eyes are going to go gray and blue, and that'll be for 3, 4, 5 days, and then they're going to clear up. They'll be crystal clear, and you're going to wonder, did I miss the shed? What happened? Did it eat their shed? Nope, wait, you got another day, 2, 3 days, sometimes the bigger snakes even longer, but they will shed every time after those gray and blue eyes. Taking care of the snake's husbandry, keeping the humidity and temperature on point in your setups is key to this success. Check out these videos for more information on care and setup and keeping your husbandry on point. And when you do, you're going to help me and Charlie feed our ball python addiction. Cheers.